Oh, I'm dreaming of a white-faced Christmas, just like the ones I've always known, where teeth are missing and no one listens. Oh, damn. I snubbed my toe, folks. I snubbed my toe. Oh, good land, harmony. It could be broken. Oh, good land. Oh, where'd that table go? There was a table there just a second ago. Oh, there it is. Knocked it on over there. Folks, I'm just like a bull in a Chinese shop. Let me go grab the table. Now put things back together. Knocked everything around. Oh, my toe. You should see it. Anyway, I know it's these old sandals I got from the Goodwill. I know I should have splurged and got the good ones from the dollar store. But anyway, oh, folks. Anyway, Big Mama Junk here. Merry holidays to you, folks. I'm here to spread the holiday cheer. And speaking of cheers, hold on a sec. Cheers. Oh, who eyes dry. Woo! Anyway, coming at you here from Commerce City and Swamp Creek Trailer Park. But before I get started, let me refurbish your memory, folks. When I left you last year, at this time, I was heading out to the annual VFW Christmas Gala Festival, where I was going to compete in the pageant for Miss Snowflake. And, as you can tell from my beautiful tiara and my magic snowflake wand, I won the title. But it was not without drama and turmoil, let me tell you. As I told you before, my only competition really was that trashy old Tiffany typewaters. And my strategy was, she's got her a glass eye, see. My strategy was, if I just bumped her, just a little bump, I might be able to pop that sucker out and I'd be a shoo-in to win Miss Snowflake. Well, I gave her the bump, and it did, and I did. It popped right out. I stepped right on it, did a crazy dance right across the stage, looking like Daffy Duck on crack, went right down the stairs, down the side, landed in the splits right in front of all the judges. And they applauded. But here comes that eyeball. Plink, 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 down those stairs, pop, right in my mouth. Oh, nasty. I'm telling you what, they had to call the pyromedics to get me out of the splits and up off the floor. It took more than a few, actually, too. But see, so you know, it's just like they say. Whatever bad can happen, whatever bad can happen, will happen. They call that herpes law, you see. Herpes law. My trailer mate Carmelita says, no, Mama, that ain't herpes law. That's just bad caramel. And I said, what you talking about caramel for? Caramel don't have nothing to do with the eyeball popping in my mouth. And I'm telling you what, I'm lucky I didn't swallow it. I'd really be in trouble then. So, anyway, Carmelita gets a little mixed up, see. She's a little, what you call, cray-cray. So, if you know what I mean. Anyways, the important thing is that I won the title fair and square. And I thought I was a perfect Miss Snowflake because I've always been pure as the dribbling snow, you know. It's a full-time job being a beauty queen, you know. You can't get by on good looks alone. You got to have talent to boot. So I'm telling you what. Hold on a second, folks. Got a little air freshener here. Okay, that's better. So anyway, so with all this beauty and talent, and I have just been crowned Miss Snowflake, what come the grand poobah of the VFW come and ask me to play Santa Claus for the kids' day. Me, play a man? I'm really a bit too feminist to be playing a man in a red suit. But anyway, I agreed to do it, and I'll be damned if they didn't stick me with a female assistant dressed as an angel. Long legs and a big rack, I'm telling you. But really, she looked, can you say catastrophe? She really looked more like a stripper or a hooker if you ask me, or both. And she was smoking, where'd my cigarette go? Oh, good land. I'll burn the trailer down. Anyway, where, oh goodness sakes. Anyway, where was I? She looked more like a hooker or a stripper dressed like that, and she was smoking to boot. Ain't that classy? I know them boys just hired her to get a pic with her and gawk at her all day. And I told them that, boys, ain't none of you sitting on my lap. And I told her, look here, Anna Nicotine Smith, don't be shoving them boobs in my face, or I'll be using it, oh, I'll be using it as your cleavage as an ashtray if you're not careful. I ain't into having boobs shoved in my face. So anyways, so here come the brats. First one comes, plops on my lap, looks like a little meatball with arms, and commences to crying and whining, saying, I'm a scary Santa Claus. Can you imagine that? So anyway, excuse me. Well, I said, look here, kiddo, put a sock in it. And so, well, that's what I did. I did put a sock in it. And then I lost my job as Santa Claus. Oh well, it was all right with me. I was ready to get out of there anyway. You know, sorry folks, I'm getting over a bad case of lockjaw. Having troubles with it. That calls for another drink. Excuse me. Anyway, better not sit on that table. Anyways, folks, I've always been a big fan of Christmas and all, and the holiday season, but I'm getting a little confused behind the real story behind Christmas. Now, we've all seen the Charlie Brown Christmas special, and Linus told us how it is. That Linus is a smart kid now, let me tell you, and a good actor too. But anyway, so these wise men are bringing Frankenstein and myrrh to the baby Jesus. Now, why in tarnation would you bring Frankenstein and myrrh to the baby Jesus? Why would you mix Halloween with Christmas? I mean, how wise are these guys anyway? Anyway, where was I? Anyway, losing my train of thought, folks. Anyway, the wise men bring the Frankenstein and myrrh. Don't they know that Halloween's already 2 months ago? Good lands. So it sounds like a little non-Christian to me. So the wise men are following this Star of Bethlehem to the baby Jesus. And then I get to thinking about that name, Jesus. Carmelita says, that ain't Jesus, that's Jesus. And that's a Mexican name. And I said, what? That can't be a Mexican name, Carmelita. She says, I seen a t-shirt that says, do you know Jesus, or Jesus? He mows my lawn. I said, Carmelita, don't you blaspheme. Don't you blaspheme in this trailer. I won't have it. So anyway, like I said, she is a little cray-cray. And it is all a little confusing. Because I seen a bumper sticker that says, my boss is a Jewish carpenter, and I know that's Jesus. So which is it? Maybe it's both. It is all a little confusing. So anyway, folks, I got a little sad news to tell you. Kindly sad. My old man of 3 years old Skeeter, I had to give him the boot. Oops. I had to quit old Skeeter. There was too many things coming up missing from the trailer. You know? So, and then he's got to move on back home with his mama. Not this mama, but his birthing mama. And I say, oh, and I say, he's back on the tip, as usual. So anyway, I've been seeing this man named Chauncey Hightower III. The third, now ain't that classy? And he is a man of color. That's what people with class like us like to say. We like to say it that way. So Carmelita thinks it's funny. She just laughs and she says, Mama, you always needed a little cocoa in your cream. And I said, now Carmelita, you're getting mixed up again because you don't put cocoa in cream. You put the cream in the cocoa. Like I said, a little cray-cray. Heaven help her. She knows not what she says. So anyway, Chauncey took me to see a movie. When we got there to the theater, I'll be damned if I didn't have to bring my own chair because they made all the seats too small in there. So anyway, we seen this movie called Gravity. And I'm telling you what, it had to be the most boringest movie I ever seen. I mean, people just floating around in space, not saying a thing. And I fell asleep, and they threw me out snoring. So anyways, but I do still like that George Clooney and Sandra Bullock, though. I love both of them. Folks, I got to tell you, I'm running a little bit late here. Chauncey's picking me up, and he's going to take me to what's called the Montebello for Quanazza. So what I think is, it sounds like a really nice restaurant, and I know I've always wanted to try Quanazza. It sounds delicious. So anyway, folks, I guess it's time for me to go, and I'd like to say Merry Holidays to you. I hope you have a wonderful holiday, and the weather outside is whitening. Carmelita's locked out, how frightening. She's got no other place to go. Yellow snow, yellow snow, yellow snow.